face-to-face classes, and I would like to ask you about like this transition. How was the transition now, from moving to a face-to-face classroom, and how the administrators and how they help you, what they like, how have administrators helped you the most, and what they could have done better, during this process of moving, now to face-to-face or regular classes, if you mind.
So in the school where I'm working, when I started working there, they were already in school. Right? Most of the kids were already in school. There were some cases in which they were doing online schooling, but students like teachers had the possibility to have the students meet as they were teaching the class for the students who were in the classroom. So we had the chance to choose if we could have the student right there in the meeting, or meet with the student later, or just assign homework on Canvas, assign students their homework or their tasks they needed to do. Like we had that flexibility, which I think that's something positive. Um, However, something that they could have done better is maybe assign or have a teacher who's teaching only online, only kids who are at home. Because for teachers, it is kind of a lot to be dealing with students in the classroom and students online.
Okay.
It does take a lot of preparation. Well, you always prepare your classes in advance, but it requires a little bit of extra preparation because you have two things. You have students in the classroom, students at home. So if you want to provide students a worksheet, you need to copy the worksheet for the ones in the classroom, upload the worksheet for the ones at home. So it does require a little bit of more preparation, or and have a plan B in case they have connectivity issues. And so I think that's something they could have done. Have a teacher just for the kids in school and a teacher for the ones doing online schooling.
Okay, so we have here a very important topic that is workload. That of
Mm-hmm.
course, you have to deal with these two kind of students. And in the case of Julian, now Julian, again, like you were like, I know because I also work at ISU that they offer us like not only like devices and technology in order to do this transition and continue face to face, but how did the administrators did this process for you, like in your own opinion, and what are the things that definitely should have we should learn now from the mistakes that probably they did.
You mean, do you mean the mistakes they did connected to how they provide resources to students as like tools or like
in
software,
general
hardware?
like how was your transition now from teaching online now to teach face to face?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, first of all, when they first when the pandemic hit and they first told us to teach online, it was a mess. Like honestly, like because they like from one day to the other, they just provided us so many tools, software. Like they were also teaching. I was teaching myself on how to use those, but then like the department was teaching students on how to use the tools. Some of them, there's like this idea of like typically the teachers, instructors are the ones that don't know how to use Zoom, or like these other tools. But so you'd be amazed to know how frequently it happens that students don't know how to use those tools, and then you teach them how to use like a new platform or whatever, and they don't know how to use it because the fact like the people think that just because somebody who's now 18, 19, 20 years old is using his her mobile phone all the time, smartphone, it doesn't mean that they know how to use all these online platforms. They may know how to use Instagram, but they may not know how to use Microsoft Teams, whatever. So you have to teach all of them, or at least like explicitly tell them how to use it. even though some of them already know that. And um and yeah, so the first of all, the at the beginning it was a mess, and then as we, like as instructors, were letting the department know their like mistakes, I guess, and like what could be some aspects of the all the like courses that the department was all the problems that the department was dealing with and how to face them. They began to discuss, like talk about the solutions and so on, and find some solutions. And that's when, for instance, um, they finally agreed on like a specific platform to be used by all the instructors, instead of just telling us to just like, guess, do your best, like find a way to teach online what you were teaching before face to face. And what else? mm, and it was difficult, it is still difficult, and I think that the department hasn't found a solution for this yet. That uh like when it comes to attendance, right, and you're teaching an online course, some students don't really, it gets difficult for them to really be there and like do the thing, because they assume, since it is an online course, you end up just as the instructor, you end up just there talking to ghosts sometimes. You don't even know if, like, if they are there, even if they are there. And some students, just since it is an online course, they are just literally not there, when like there's online meetings and so on, because they think that if they do all their work online, the like asynchronously, so they'll be fine anyways. But there's like, I think that the department should find a way of, not only by just telling students that their grade will be affected if they don't participate in online meetings, but some other way to make students be there in those online meetings. But I still don't know how, to be honest.
But
And
that represents a very important challenge. Something that you just mentioned is that students complete all their work, right? And I was wondering, Julian, how well they are completing this work. Because if they are not attending your classes, how well are they doing this?
It's in a writing course, in a composition course, it's important students to be there, like every single class, because um, we use all the class time. We dedicate all that time to doing in class, like individual and group tasks that are connected to the projects, like the big writing projects that they finally have to submit. So we do lots of writing in every single class, and we do lots of writing in online, like in this when like the pandemic hit and we had to go online. We still, like, there's nothing changed when it comes to like doing writing and creative writing and so many types of writing in, like during class time. But students don't know that, and it's difficult for them to, like, so many, I know that so many students complain about they don't like online courses because they think that they don't learn as much, and they don't learn as much from me, and then they don't learn as much from like the process of the whole course. But also those are usually the same students that don't attend online meetings, so it's something like a difficult situation to deal with.